Hi everyone, I'm trying to do an out and about type video and I feel very self-conscious about recording in public, but for the past few months while I've been figuring out what to do with my life, I've been living with my sister just near a little town called Bourne in South Lincolnshire, and it turns out I stumbled across this building in the centre of town. Turns out Charles Worth was born here. It's like a tiny little town. I mean, it's quite pretty. You can sort of see it behind me, the old bridge there. But yeah, I would never have thought that somebody that significant in fashion was born in this tiny little town. And it also turns out that they have a little heritage museum with, I presume, what is a quite small display of his clothing. So I'm heading there now because I'm only here for another week, so I've of course left it till the last minute to check out all this stuff. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get some footage of the probably like 3 dresses that they have in there.
Basically all of the gowns in this museum are recreations, which is a little sad for Charles Worth's birthplace, but I suppose his real gowns are worth, way beyond the budget of such a teeny local museum. There's just this one room dedicated to Worth, but there are quite a few things in there. They do have some genuine Worth items, mostly accessories like this beautiful shawl. It's really hard to film things behind glass without seeing yourself. There's also this belt and these amazing fans. Not gonna lie, I now want a feather fan. And finally in this case is this beautiful shawl. In case you can't read it, this says Visite circa 1885, off-white silk fail Visite, braid and bead trimming at front opening, back and hem, replica. This next dress says light/dark blue silk suit, circa 1875, bands of navy silk add contrasting details trimmed with crimped fringing and covered buttons. This black one is morning attire from circa 1870, black morning fashion bonnet, straw braids sewn in a spiral with black ribbon and ostrich feather plume, purple silk suit circa 1895, pin-tucked bodice with black ruched ribbon detail, high collar trimmed with lace. As well as the replica gowns and genuine accessories, there's also a display about the history of Worth's atelier, including his embracing of the sewing machine. Isn't it cool? And I'm sure the essential design hasn't even changed since then. I love all of these laces, ribbons and braids. It makes me want to adorn some of my clothes with pretty things. They had a small display of shoes from various eras that the Worth brand was producing clothing. I think these boots are my favourite. I love this illustration of Paris, where Worth first opened his salon in 1858. I don't think I've wanted a fan more until this moment. And this blouse is beautiful. I'm not usually a huge fan of lots of lace, but it just so works on garments from the late 19th and early 20th centuries. I went to an exhibition a few years ago about nature and fashion, and it mentioned the use of actual feathers in clothing and accessories. I'll link the blog post about it below. It was called Fashion from Nature. They also talked about the prevalence of using nature-themed motifs in fabrics, like flowers and leaves, so it's interesting to see that echoed here. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda really want a smoking hat. I also want a Sherlock Holmes style smoking jacket, so maybe you need to make a matching set. Everything in this case is just beautiful. The famous, or infamous, peacock dress, arguably one of Worth's most famous gowns, but not completely unproblematic. There are lots of YouTube videos and articles about this, so you can do some research if you're curious. I love the photos of the actual Worth gowns, and especially when you can see the insides. This is a Victorian style corset from about 1880.
So just behind me, which is just opposite the Heritage Centre, where they've got the collection, is this church, and it's apparently the church where Charles Worth was christened. Which kind of makes sense because he was born in the centre of town on the building that has his blue plaque on it, and he was here until the age of 12 apparently, and then he went to London, I presume to be like a really young apprentice, to work with a silk merchant, which is pretty cool. And then at 19 he went to Paris, studied under other fashion designers. I will look this up and insert the proper information. And then eventually got his own backer, who was a Swedish chap, to start his eponymous label, which we all know so well. So yeah, really cool. Who knew? I was living down the road from the birthplace of the father of haute couture for like 4 months.